Podcast. I am so excited because guess what, y'all? We have a new home. And if you've been following me on any social media, you know that the Speak Black Women podcast is now officially part of the Ebony Media Podcast Network. You heard me. So many awesome and amazing Black creators who are using their voice in a form of a podcast to inspire, uplift, and empower the world. And I'm so excited that Speak Black Woman is now under the Ebony brand. But let me tell you, nothing has changed with the powerful guests that I will bring to you. Women far, near, local, and global who are doing awesome and amazing things. And I promise you that today's guest will not disappoint because Coach Jalynn, she is awesome. She is amazing. But more importantly, she's all about being Black, pretty, and paid. And if you are anything like me, that sounds real good rolling off of your tongue. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her up, tell you a little bit more about the podcast. We're going to go ahead and get this conversation started. That is Coach Jalynn right there. And let me tell y'all, Speak Black Women podcast is really all about how we as Black women can amplify and illuminate our voices to super serve each other and others. I believe that our voices are so much more and they belong not just in rap songs and R&B videos, but we can use our voice to really inspire the next generation of entrepreneurs, leaders, coaches, and consultants. And that's why I look far, close, and near to find Black women who are really leaning in and leveraging their voice. And let me tell you something, Miss Jalynn is doing just that. I had the opportunity to meet this beautiful soul on Clubhouse. We'll talk about that in just a second. And her movement, which is called Black, Pretty, and Paid, literally is so exciting. And it's an affirmation-rich business coaching community designed for revolutionary women. So if you want to be boring or basic, this ain't the group for you. But if you want to revolutionize something, you're in the right place. Also, who know their six figures is really their minimum wage. That means if you want to be, what I say, not booked and busy, but peaceful and paid, then you want to tap into this network as well. She literally introduced this magical community, and the join this space has literally curated for graduate members into business excellence. She infuses sales confidence, simplified business operations, and business acumen. She makes sure that you know how to run your business, but also with a community that can serve and support you through your journey. And her mission is to embed the importance of profitable startup sustainability and the fabric of Black entrepreneurship. Miss Jalynn, welcome, welcome, welcome to the Speak Black Women podcast.
Thank you so much for having me, Quinn.
So let's talk about this for a second. Black, pretty, and paid. I mean, why couldn't you just say Black women in business or female women are fierce? Why Black, why pretty, and why paid? Tell me a little about that name.
The name really, I think just was, how you just have something that just downloads and drops down? It was that type of energy. I am a woman of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. So, pretty is just in my DNA. Okay. But ultimately, as a Black woman, as a darker complected woman, being pretty was something that I have really had to come to terms with. For myself, and I'm sure others can resonate with that, especially if you experience any bullying or any challenges accepting what you look like, especially if you look different than what was, societal standard. So I feel like every woman should be affirmed that their Black is beautiful and they can be pretty and paid at the same time. You can be a woman of that is regal and still be a woman of profit and profitability at the same time. And I entered into a direct sales type of situation that was very, very short lived. But it was a lipstick and lip gloss line that I was selling. And, it's this beautiful lip line. I'm actually wearing one of the products right now. Hysterically, that's interesting that you would ask that question. But when I got into this direct sales company, of course you have to know how to sell. But one thing I identified very soon in this organization is that most of the Black women that were a part of this direct sales company did not understand how to master sales. So their profitability was very challenged. So I kind of birthed this mission out of seeing the issue here is that we want to be pretty, but how do we get paid? So that's how the name came about. And I appreciate you for asking that question.
No, I love it. And happy belated Founders Day. I
Thank
definitely
you
saw
so
that.
much.
I saw that. I am not a member of a sorority, but I love the sisterhood. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that's good stuff. And I have a lot of friends who are AKAs. So I just want to say that to you. And I love that. I love that explanation. I'm definitely with you as a fellow chocolate chick, is what I call myself. You know, the idea of pretty or being pretty for a dark skinned girl. We could probably do a whole nother podcast around that.
Right.
It has been something that's been a part of our reality. So, you know, one of the reasons why I wanted to connect with you is because we first connected through our voices. You know, we didn't really see each other, but we connected, you know, on Clubhouse. And, you know, because it's about Speak Black Woman, talk to me a little bit about how you got on Clubhouse and how you've been using it to amplify your voice and really use it as a lead generation to really, you know, get people into your community.
A Black woman told me to go to Clubhouse. A
Of
Black
course you did.
her name is Sade Y. Adu.
Oh, I know Sade. Okay.
Yes, she's a brand strategist, and Sade was one of the first conscious investments I made in Black Pretty and Paid. Actually, um, I birthed the idea full, like, to what it is today through a master class that I took with Sade, and she's still my coach to this day. But when Clubhouse was very fresh and new on these internet streets, she said, there's this new app that I have to tell you all about, and I want you to get on now. It's revolutionary. It is a place where you'll be able to grow your brand with your voice. You don't even have to get on camera. And I'm thinking, I'm hearing about it, but it's invitation only. Like, that just sounds a little snooty. What is this about? All these celebrities are on there. I kind of just started to prejudge, and then also started to feel some FOMO because it was an invitation only app. Why didn't I get an invitation? So eventually, when I got an invitation to the app, it was when it was still very new. I was an early adapter. And one thing Sade said to me was Periscope was a game changer for so many
Mm,
entrepreneurs. And when you have the opportunity to be on a social media platform, right, and be one of the first users there, you are building a territory. And so
mm,
ultimately, what Clubhouse was for me was a place for me as a newer expert on the scene, not new to what I do, but newer to building my brand online. It gave me this opportunity to use what I feel like is one of my most powerful tools, something that is extremely easy for me and it comes natural to me. It gave me a space to perfect my voice, especially in the marketplace. It gave me an opportunity to connect with my audience and with people that I would further collaborate with, like you, in a different and very personable way. So, Clubhouse, I love it. It's one of the very places I frequent, especially in my brand, and it is very pivotal to what I do every single day is speaking. So it gave me opportunity to grow faster with my voice and to connect with women like you.
yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people, they raise their hand. They say, I want to be an entrepreneur. I
Yeah.
want to be a business owner. And they don't understand that spokesperson is also a new a title or a hat that they also need to wear. You know, why do you think your popularity in using your voice on Clubhouse just was able to grow so rapidly?
I think it is because I had structure and I
Okay.
knew what I was there for.
Mm,
Like anything in the world, it's not even just the internet, but because we're in this age of like the digital world, I love to call it digital Black Wall Street, where you were in new age Black entrepreneurship right now. And one thing I believe is that there are a lot of distractions out there, and
mhm,
it's very easy to just show up somewhere and not really know why you're there. But when I came to Clubhouse, I knew what I was there for. I knew I was there to connect with my audience. And honestly, I was in this room on Christmas Day of 2020, I believe. And there was a woman that was prophesying on the app, and she basically just shared that my voice would just be one of the major tools that I utilize to reach the masses. And she
mhm,
just spoke over my life in such a way and just commanded me to really take being on this app extremely serious.
mhm.
And, that's what I did. So I think it is important for you to have focus and to have intention before you show up anywhere and to also have structure. I'm a gerontologist by education. I specialize in older adults. I worked in hospice and palliative care for over 5 years and in healthcare for 10 years. And ultimately, a part of what I studied was advanced care planning for African American families. So I have a very powerful, platform in the healthcare industry as one of the few Black gerontologists in the world, probably, and ultimately I could take that angle, but I decided to take the angle of really speaking into the entrepreneur, because on this app, you have to be known for something extremely specific. So I had to learn my niche and really connect with that user on that app. That user experience is very important, and just continue to show up in that vision vein with my voice every single time I appeared on the app. And that's what I've been able to do.
No, and do it well. I would say.
Do it well, honey.
I mean, if I get a little ping that you're in, I try to hop in if I'm not in between clients or doing something. So you recently had almost like an inaugural launch, people that could join a membership. Tell me, and that was under Black, Pretty, and Paid. Tell us a little bit about that and why you decided to do it that way, because I know that there's 1,000,001 business models, right? You can have a coaching program, you can have a membership, you can have VIP day. I mean, when it comes to business, there's 1,000,001 way to package, promote it, and sell it. Tell me about your membership program in your community and why you decide to go that angle.
Wow, I'm appreciative of you asking that, especially being that memberships and subscription-based business models are all around us.
Yeah.
How many subscriptions do you have, Quinn?
We're not gonna talk about it.
We have so many subscriptions. If you're looking at us or if you're listening to us, then you probably have a whole bunch of subscriptions too. And maybe if you're an entrepreneur, you've considered a membership at some point. But there are a lot of messages out there to deter people from starting memberships, because they're like, how is it going to start? What am I going to offer? How much is it going to cost? Is it going to be too much? Is my user or community or member, are they going to be tired of memberships? Are they going to, not want to be a part for the long term? I decided to hush all of that noise and decide that what is most important as a digital Black entrepreneur operating in digital Black Wall Street, is what I like to call it, is community. Because what's most important for Black women and Black people, or people in general, is community, village, right? So how could I operate in community and in business at the same time is me offering a membership. So Black, Pretty, and Paid started with the beta test. We've always been community based as a business, but the community was free. But once I continue to get the reviews and the testimonials and the side messages of, this is the most powerful thing I've ever been a part of. And these are people that either they're very new entrepreneurs or they're generating millions upon millions of dollars. It didn't matter where they were in their evolution of generational wealth. It served a purpose for everyone that joined, everyone that has been able to have an opportunity, to be a part. And so I said, maybe there's a monetization piece here. If we love this free space so much, what will happen when it becomes a subscription, so that we can maintain the quality and also enhance the user's experience? And ultimately, I went from 1,500 members in the space to 93. And, sometimes we would feel that like that's a defeat, but it went from 1,500 women in a free space, not truly getting the full transformation that they really deserved. It's fun, it's nice, it's a cute name, it's somewhere where I can meet people, but you possibly are still in the same space because you haven't invested in yourself and invested in this community, as we should do in our local communities, right? So in order for me to kind of build this digital space where I want to circulate wealth and wisdom and womanhood in business, I decided to add a subscription piece. And I went a step further and didn't just say we're going to stay in between the $27 and $97 average for a subscription, but we decided to become a premium membership. a lifetime membership, something that really could move the needle for people's lives and their businesses. And so ultimately, that's pretty much the reason why I decided to go the membership route. We've always been community based, and our membership is pretty much the nucleus of Black Pretty and Paid University. Two things are extremely important to us: community and experience. And that membership gives us community all year around. Our experiences, our events, and we're able to show up and not just be an attendee, but be a community at these experiences that we attend. So it's very, very powerful. My 93 is very powerful. So whether you have a few people in your community or hundreds and thousands, the numbers aren't really the major impact or influence. It's really what's happening for each woman individually and collectively.
I love that. And you said the community is around wealth, wisdom, and womanhood. I was like, you better come on with the 3 W's. I love that. I be listening. I talk a lot, but I listen a lot too. I love that. And then you also have the Black Pretty and Paid University, as well as the events. And you definitely have some powerhouses. And that's what I love. What you're attracting. Like, I had a chance to connect with Omaya before a couple of times. I know she's a part, of your community and your tribe. Matter of fact, I think you were having an event, and we'll talk about that in just a second, in Atlanta. And she's like, you need to be here. And I think I had something going on that same weekend, but it's all good. I think we were like maybe just connected, so we didn't really know each other yet. She knew that I was like speaking and emceeing and all that good stuff. So I love your 3 W's. Black Pretty and Paid University, absolutely. And kudos to you for seeing the decrease in number as a win, because there are so many things that people want. We would like go to YouTube University, we will go to Clubhouse College, we would do all these things and wondering why we ain't getting to where we got to go, because we don't have to invest. And again, the subscription model can be done differently. And I always say that disruption leads to dollars, right? Sometimes you got to do it different, you got to say it different, you got to package it different. So what? Everybody's offering a $10 membership a month. Add a 0 or 2 and make it different and make it unique. So I love that you're doing that. Well, let's talk about events, right? Because I love me events. Why events, right? Because you talked about, like online and Black Wall Street online now. Clubhouse is online. This podcast is going to be heard online. Why did you still feel the need to do some in-person events?
Human experience is everything. There was a question that Brother Ben X asked on Instagram recently, and that thing had me going for a minute. He pretty much asked, if you had to come up with $1 million in the next 90 days, how would you do it? One word: events. Events. I would utilize a transformational experience to generate $1 million in 90 days.
This is what he said?
He asked the question, and that was my response.
That was your got it. Okay.
Thank you for clarifying that. So yeah, he asked the question, and it was like in the middle of the night. Some people kind of post in the middle of the night because they know that people are up. Either their dreams are keeping them up, their pain is keeping them up, whether that's physical, emotional, mental, entrepreneur, whatever it is. Some people post like really, really early in the morning, and I catch those posts because I wake up quite early on most mornings. And when I saw that question, I said events. If you had to generate $1 million in 90 days and you're a service-based, product-based, whatever-based business, in my line of work, community-based business, an event. And the reason being is because it's very similar to Clubhouse. Clubhouse has taken the social media world by storm, further introducing the power of social audio, because podcast is a part of that family as well, right? And we love podcasts. Shout out to Speak Black Women, right? And women. So ultimately, whenever you hop into a Clubhouse room, you're hopping into an event. You're hopping in, especially if you have a speaker like you're not only just hopping into an event, you're hopping into a transformational experience. If we can change lives behind a picture with the voice coming through the phone, imagine what happens when you put people inside of this 1, 2, 3 day incubator
Come on.
Right? With strategy, and you give them something that they've been desperately needing for a long time, especially after a pandemic when I was in California and we were really on lockdown. So there were no events. There was no going into restaurants and sitting down. Human touch and human experience was at an all-time low. And now that we have this opportunity to appreciate what it feels like to see Quinn in person, it's totally different now. We have a different appreciation for it. So
Mhm.
events, why events? Because of the level of transformation that can truly happen when you're in that space. And for Black and brown business owners, especially Black women, we love having experiences. But here's the challenge, and here's the why events, like part 2. We love having experiences and events. We don't always know how to do it in a profitable manner. And it will really hurt and hinder our confidence level when you have this beautiful experience that everybody is raving over, but you're in the red after it's all over. Listen now.
This, I knew I should have worn my, because I ain't got no edges. Just for that. Just for that. Listen, you ain't say nothing but a word. I posted, I've been doing this for 17 years. And, I posted an event. It was 8 years ago, 2014, where I did exactly that. I always had the talent of speaking. Get somebody super excited. Did a lot of work in that space, and literally I had 170 people sign up for this event. I had 100 people show up. I paid for the space, the venue, the videographer, the photographer, all of that. Made my offer because I thought I knew what I was doing, and nobody bought. Devastated. Big girl mad. Wanted to cuss on a Sunday mad. And I was like, I'm done. I am not doing this anymore. And I stopped speaking for about 3 years. I was like, no, I'm good. Yes. And I was good. And my girlfriend came up to me and she said, Quinn, what's the next time you're speaking? What's the next time you're hosting an event? Because that was 2014. I was trying for 7 years, trying to figure this thing out. Right. And she was like, when's the next time you're speaking? I'm like, girl, I don't speak no more. I'm going to focus on this bag business. And I don't know if you know this, but I was heavily involved in the sorority market for a long time, for about 6 years. I was licensed with the AKAs, the Deltas, the Sigma Gamma, all the Divine Nine organizations, and 11 HBCUs. So I was licensed to make products. So I was going to Boulets. I was going to regional conferences. I even got an AKA contract, and everybody wouldn't know how I wouldn't do that because they only give those to sorors. But I happened to get an AKA contract. So we created a bag for regional, and I'm going to focus on my bag business. This speaking is not working out for me. And literally my girlfriend said to me, what's the next time you're speaking? What's the next time you're hosting your event? And I'm like, I'm not speaking no more. Like, God must have made a mistake. I'm tired of talking, people getting riled up and not buying from me. And she says, Quinn, you're not good at speaking. You're anointed to speak. Ooh. And it broke my silence. To say that is, you're exactly right. And literally on Clubhouse, I met a lot of people, and we would actually meet in person because I was like, oh, I'm going here. Oh, I'm there. I'll meet you. And it is it. So I love that you were so right. You're so accurate. And, I can only imagine, you on Clubhouse or you on a podcast versus you in person. Because I know I'm a different animal in person. Okay. Energy is different. So no, you are right. So what is going on in 2022? What do you have planned for Black, Pretty, and Paid, whether it's the university? Do you have any events? Are you getting the 93 together for an in-person? Let us know what you got going on. What's coming up?
Some tears just came up first because it's just so this year has a anointing on it. Girl, don't make me go get my Kappa, okay? This year has an anointing on it, and I brought in the year with Omaya Jackson that you mentioned earlier, and all of Black, Pretty, and Paid on Clubhouse. And we did a room called Supernatural Success. And this actually derived from me and Omaya being in the car and just speaking about what was going to transpire in the next year, what we were calling in. And we just kept talking, and she said something like supernatural. And I said, success. It's a room. Let's do it. And ultimately, this is a year where it's going to look weird. It's going to be like, how did Quinn do that? What's the secret? It is not going to be a secret. It's just going to be supernatural. This is my $1 million year. plus, plus, plus. I'm not limiting it at $1 million. And that's just my revenue. It doesn't count the millions that will flow from me and opportunity for my clients and for my community members and for my partners. So I'm really excited because I'm basically deciding, and I've always wanted to do this, especially being that ever since I was 5 years old, I knew I would be a millionaire. Like I just always had this thought. I didn't understand what it really meant. And as you go on in life, like you say, you kind of get silenced. Life just silenced me. I'm like, ain't no way I'm gonna make $1 million making $15 an hour. So might as well forget that dream. But becoming a full-time entrepreneur brought me back to my wealthy inner child, that little girl that everybody say, you're gonna be the next Oprah, baby. And I would be like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna be Jalynn. But now I understand what they meant, So this is that year where the revenue is going to expand like a fan. Like it's just gonna be like massive success for everyone that's connected to me. Everyone is winning at a different level. And we're only 18, 19 days into the year. It's magical what is happening right now. So in terms of Black Pretty and Paid, we are going full on with our membership, and we solidify what our services look like how we really want to serve Black women, how we really want to revolutionize this terrible statistic that 8 out of 10 Black owned businesses fail due to lack of funding, capital, and planning. Like these are 3 easy things that we can fix with this powerful platform that you have with Clubhouse. So my goal is to change that statistic by stimulating the wealth gap. We may not be able to systemically change it, but we can stimulate, right? When the pandemic happened, they couldn't change the financial turmoil that we were in, but what they could do is stimulate the economy. So we received these checks, right? So ultimately, that's what we're doing in our line of work as entrepreneurs. We're stimulating the wealth gap. So I plan to support, I don't have a number, as many Black women as I possibly can, right? Helping them make consistent $5, $10, $20,000 months, hosting events and teaching people the art of such, and how to do it in a way where you're able to be profitable. And also, really just going through with the power of membership in community. So in terms of events, we are doing the Black Entrepreneur Homecoming Experience this year. And last year, it was a God assignment. I did it kicking and screaming. Kicking and screaming. However, it was the most profitable event that I was able to have to date. And so we want to double down on that impact, and we're planning right now. It will be in September, so September 8th through the 11th. And we're actually hosting, our event is the first ever HBCU Inspired Business Conference. So this is our second year.
Howard.
Hey, hey, hey. And so you may even be familiar with schools like North Carolina A&T.
I was with them. Mm-hmm.
So what is their homecoming called?
GHO. Yeah.
BHO. So our homecoming is called BHO, Black Entrepreneur Homecoming Experience.
I love it.
And so we cannot wait to really go all the way in this year with the marketing, with the experience, with the HBCU feeling, right? Like you want to show up to this conference and be like, am I at Howard or am I at a business conference?
And it is a thing. It is a thing.
It is a thing. So that's what we want to do. And that's going to be the main event that we have this year. There will be a private experience for members right before it starts. But other than that, this is not the year of busy. This is not the year of having my hands in 20 pots. My hand is in this hand is in one pot, and that's in Black Pretty and Paid University. So if it's not me representing for that, then it has to wait, because this is an assignment, right? So that's a little bit about what's going on. And of course, I'll be in the same places, just showing up powerfully and just making sure that I'm following the mission and the plan, right? So no deviations this year.
I love that. And let people know, how can they connect with you or Black Pretty and Paid? What's the website? Give us all your socials so we can stay connected. And I'll also put this in the show notes as well for everybody.
Absolutely. So our website is actually going to be revealed in February. So I'm super excited about that. But the easiest way to find me is on Clubhouse, Instagram, Facebook. And so you can find me at Dare to Be a Black Millionaire on Instagram. And that's BLK Millionaire. And you'll see when you get to the page why that's my name. And then you can find me Coach Jalynn on LinkedIn, Facebook, and on Clubhouse. So Coach Jalynn everywhere. And if you ever want to connect with us further, you can just go to blackprettyandpaid.as.me, and that will most likely lead you to all of our links as well as our calendar to partner, to collaborate, to explore more about what we're doing inside of our community.
And it is amazing community. Like, I had a chance, you let me speak at one of your events. And I think it was a meeting, and it was great. It was amazing. And yeah, it's just good stuff. I definitely just think that you're amazing. That's why I asked you to be on the show. And I'm glad that you said yes. Hang out for just a second. I'm going to wrap up and come right back to you. Okay, Jalynn?
Absolutely.
All right. I told y'all I never disappoint. I know that I be here doing the interviewing, but I be taking notes. I got real notes from Jalynn. I love everything that she is doing. I think that she is completely awesome and amazing. And if you haven't checked her out, definitely Black, Pretty, and Paid is somewhere you need to go, and also check her out on Instagram or Clubhouse. Again, my name is Quinn Conyers, and I'm so excited that you were able to join us for the Speak Black Woman podcast. Just so you know, each and every Wednesday, there'll be a new episode that you can listen to. You're going to hear from Black women who are using their voice in every aspect of their business, their book, their brand, or in their career. Here's what you need to understand: that your voice is your secret weapon to being super successful and earning ridiculous revenue. Now is not the time to be muted, muzzled, or quiet. Speak up, because your voice can open up doors that I know that you can't even think or imagine. So again, my name is Quinn Conyers. You want to learn more about the Speak Black Woman podcast? Go to speakblackwoman.com. You can also check out my latest book, which is upstairs, called Speak Black Woman. It's available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, and Target. Yeah, I'm doing big things out here. And also you can see what kind of merchandise we have coming up, as well as any events. But I want to thank you for tuning in. I want to thank Jalynn again and her community, but more importantly, making sure that you're using your voice, because it is your secret sauce for success. Until next time, I'll see you soon on the Speak Black Woman podcast.